YouTubers? Rich here, 2RC Productions. We got another little Rich Rambles session to talk about today. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. There's a lot of interesting news in the RC world. Have another drink of water here. So first off, I want to say I appreciate everybody watching our stuff, checking out our videos, leaving comments. We're at like 3,041 subs right now, which is awesome. And the channel continues to grow at a slow and steady pace over the years. We've been at it for 4 years now, and it's been very rewarding. It's been a great time. I always loved the hobby since I was a kid. Most of you know I've been into the hobby since the 80s. And we're also car guys. I love cars. And it's awesome to have a platform on YouTube to be able to share my interests with everybody. And although you might not agree with all my views or how I look at things, I always give everyone the straight truth, the way I know it, from the heart, from my mind. When I'm talking right now, I'm telling you how I feel about things. Some of you may disagree. Some of you are going to disagree. Not everybody feels the same way about things, and that's what's awesome about the world we live in, or the country we live in, I should say, that we have these freedoms, that we can talk about things and express our feelings about things and have opposition. You know, other countries, not all countries, but there's other countries that don't allow you to do that. It's their way of thinking, and that's it. So it's very cool that we can all talk as a group. And we had a topic come up this week in the RC world, I guess you could say. Hobbico, huge RC company. Basically picture it like Hobbico is this big huge circle that is this entity, and underneath them is a bunch of divisions. And you have like Axial, you have Dromeda, you have, oh man, there's so many different names. And I don't want to go through them all because I know I'm not going to remember them a lot, but let me put it to you this way. Tower Hobby, Arma is another one. Tower Hobbies is a huge distributor of RC cars and trucks and boats and planes and equipment, and they've been around since I was a kid. I've talked about this before on my channel. Used to get the Tower Talk magazine and all that stuff when I was a kid. Now they have Speed Mart. It used to be called Tower Talk. And basically anything that Tower Hobbies carries is Hobbico. You can't get ECX vehicles from Tower Hobbies because ECX is under the umbrella of Horizon. So you have Hobbico and you have Horizon. And in my collection, Rich from 2RC Productions collection, we are primarily Horizon Hobby vehicles, primarily. That they just tend to be more of my favorite. I have one Dromeda vehicle, and pretty much everything else, other than my Axial, is under the umbrella of Horizon, aside of like Team Associated. I don't believe that Team Associated is directly tied to Hobbico. They're their own entity, as far as I know. If somebody knows different, you can correct me. I don't pretend to know every little aspect of everything about who owns this how many shares this company has with this company and that. I don't pretend to know that. I don't know that. I don't really care about that, to be honest. But what we're talking about is Hobbico filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy this week. And it's all over people's channels and everybody's talking about it. So we had this, you know, we had a big discussion on Team Integrity RC because Josh from Midlife RC, who's a good buddy of mine, check his channel out if you haven't seen it, Midlife RC. He had posted a video on Team Integrity RC, which is our, Josh and I together, it's our community that we started on Google+. And we have a great group of people there. And a lot of the times, you know, there's people that are posting their projects and, you know, I bought a new set of tires, I got a new RC, and that's all cool, that's cool. Guys doing custom work, that's great. But it's pretty much kind of this way all the time. And we have a great group that's always contributing. There's always something on there. But Josh happened to post a video that Aaron from RC Sparks put up. And everybody anybody that knows RC whatsoever knows Aaron from RC Sparks. He's, 1 million plus subscribers. He's the largest RC YouTuber that's ever existed and probably ever will exist. And a lot of us guys, I know I'm one, used to watch a lot of his videos, and it gave me the inspiration to start my own channel. And he posted a video on Hobbico and how he felt that it's because a lot of these Chinese knockoff brands and stuff like that that are stealing the thunder from Hobbico, and they're having to cut more of their cost, and they're losing money. And there's employees, they house like 350 employees, and they could be out of a job. What's it going to do for the RC community with all these different brands? What if they go away? Well, to my understanding, they're going to restructure the company. They want to sell the company off to someone else, hopefully keep the brands going, hopefully keep them intact so they're quality like they are. And anyway, Josh posted this, and it just got everybody going, which I think is awesome, because I like having discussion and difference of opinion and so on. And it kind of hit a little sore spot with me with the Chinese knockoffs, because there's a lot of channels that are doing a lot of reviews on these. And there's a few sections to this conversation, and I want to make sure that I'm clear and I don't miss anything. So, by Chinese knockoffs, we're talking about companies that, let's see, how can I explain this? Okay, there's channels out there that the phone rings or email or however you want to talk about it, they get contacted. And companies like, I'll name the companies like GearBest and Banggood are the two big ones that are really out there networking to get their products out there. And they are China-based companies. And they basically will call up or contact a YouTuber like myself, and they will say, hey, we would like to, send you some product for you to review and, show to your viewers and blah, blah, blah. And some of them have stipulations. I know this to be true. I don't know what everybody's deal is that does it, but I know that there are stipulations. They give you a rep. You get like a customer rep or a sales rep that will talk with you and tell you that, we're going to send you X amount of products. You need to sell X amount of units. You need to mention, make 3 videos per vehicle, mention us 16 times, whatever it is. And I don't know the specifics, but that's generally how it works out, because they want you to sell vehicles for them. The difference is they don't have the marketing like HPI or Team Associated or Tamiya or whatever. They don't have the marketing. So they're coming up on the heels of these larger companies that have made a name for themselves over the years. And they see that there's a market and people are buying. RC's bigger than it's ever been as far as how many countries it reaches, how many different facets to the hobby there is. There's always something new coming up, the new fad, always something new everybody's hyped on, and then it goes into something else, and it goes into something else. And I've seen this over the years. It's new motors, it's brushed to the brushless, it's nickel metal hydride to the lipos, it's crawler scene to the monster truck to the racing drones, there's always something. So they see that there's a market and they're jumping on the bandwagon. Now I've noticed an influx of this over the past years. Basically since I've been on YouTube, because that's how I, when I started watching YouTube videos before I started our channel, you could start to notice this. And there's some guys in the community that, in the RC community in general, there's quite a few channels that put a lot of these vehicles out there that have, agreements with these companies. And I respect these guys. One of them is Tony from CCXRC. He does a lot of these on his channel. And he is a fantastic guy. I love Tony from CCXRC. I think he's a straight shooter. He's honest. He gets these products, but he will do real reviews on it. If there's shortcomings or something's not good, he will say that, and I respect him for that. And I do feel that there is a market for these vehicles. Another guy is Mike's RC Corner, who's another great dude that I've known for a while. He also does a lot of these vehicles. And I believe there's a market for that out there, I believe, worldwide. These are China-based companies. Now, when we talk about people getting offensive about name brand RC companies, we need to center on the USA because that's where I come from. I'm not saying everybody needs to center on the USA, but I'm saying from my perspective, when I get a little adamant or upset, or another gentleman I want to mention is 2K RC Backroads. He's another guy on Team Integrity RC. Fantastic dude. Check out his channel. I want to tell you these guys that I'm mentioning, Mike's RC Corner, great channel. Tony from CCX RC, he doesn't need any publicity. The guy's got like 11,000 subs already. His channel is just exploding. 2K RC Backroads, awesome dude. Check out his stuff. He's got killer trail videos. These guys are all been commenting and talking, and he seems to be very knowledgeable. 2K RC Backroads seems to be very knowledgeable in business, and that's, I guess he's a small business owner, so he understands the ins and outs. So from a U.S. standpoint, I stand in this category. 2KRC stands in this category. Tony from CCXRC is kind of in the middle. He's got a little bit different view, kind of on our side, because he does support local hobby shops, and he showed, on his channel, he buys a lot of Traxxas. He used to constantly go to his local hobby shop. They closed down, but he used to go there all the time and race and so on. So he's in the middle, kind of in the middle of this, because he has some sponsorship, but he supports the local hobby shop. So now I want to explain a little bit my perspective in defense for, say, Tony. There is a market for these cheap knockoffs. There's a couple of different reasons. Not everybody is in the States. There's people in different countries that don't have the exposure to RC, that maybe only saw RCs from YouTube or something, because YouTube is worldwide. They don't have the local hobby shops. They don't have the local suppliers. They don't have the Tower Hobbies like we got. Tower Hobbies and Hobbico are like an hour and a half from me. I'm in the Midwest, and it's like, it's a huge company. I can go into a hobby shop, order something. If they don't have it, they get it from Horizon. It's here in a day or so, 2 days, free shipping to my hobby shop. People in other countries don't have that opportunity. So what guys like Tony are doing is they are bringing the market to them, so to speak, for these more affordable brands that maybe coming from China to them might be a little bit more affordable, and maybe they can't order other vehicles. My buddy Sean B from the UK, I've heard him talk before how there's certain vehicles that were discontinued that they weren't able to get. Like I believe it was Vitera. I thought it was Vitera vehicles that he couldn't get anymore in the UK. So it would be like he'd have to order from here, or have somebody send it to him, or whatever. So there's a lot of things going on out there that I can't speak for everyone. Now, from my standpoint, my history, okay, so one, I believe there's a market for those products. Do I feel that those products are quality? Have I owned every one of those products? No, I have not. Do I feel that they're quality replacements for a Traxxas vehicle or a Tamiya vehicle? Absolutely not. And that is my opinion. That's Rich's opinion. I'm not saying that, there's fact-based up that says that this vehicle is more quality than this vehicle. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want to hear in the comment section people commenting to me and trying to change my mind. Oh, Rich, you really got to buy the Freedom or whatever, the HB248690 buggy from so-and-so because they're awesome. I've had it for 5 years, and Red Cat. And Red Cat is mainstream now. Tower Hobbies carries them. I still won't buy Red Cat because I know their history. Maybe they're great vehicles now. Do I own one? No. So I can't really speak on the quality of them because I don't know. I had a Red Cat video up a while back, a Nitro video, that I took down because I was so annoyed with all the comments from everybody telling me how great Red Cat is and how could I possibly think it's a crap vehicle. How could I possibly think it's a crap vehicle? Because I had it sitting here, it was a buddy of mine's car, and it was a crap vehicle. That's it. It was a crap vehicle. So how can I decide that? Because I decide that. It's a crap vehicle. Just like you like it, I don't like it, it doesn't matter. That's what makes the world go round. So having said that, there is a market for some of these vehicles. Some people have really good luck with them. Some people like them. Now, Tony from CCXRC. Sometimes he gets good ones, sometimes he gets bad ones. How do you differentiate that? How do you not over flood your channel with that stuff? I don't know. But I know that if I had that deal and I was feeling these constraints where they're sending me one out, Tim from RC Noob is another one. Good buddy of mine. You guys know I've talked about him many times. He also has a great channel, does a ton for the RC community. He's getting a lot of sponsorship now, and he's getting a lot of these vehicles flooding. And it's like, where do you draw the line? Do you want your channel to be 90% Chinese knockoffs and 10% hobby grades or toy grades or whatever? People as an individual have to make that decision and decide what they stand for and what they want to present on their channel. My only product sponsorship as of now consists of New Bright Toys. New Bright Toys, their vehicles are made in China. Are they the best vehicles on the planet? Are they the strongest vehicles, the fastest vehicles? No. Do they make a good, solid, toy-grade product? Absolutely. Have I owned their products in the past? Absolutely. Was it that New Bright came to me and offered to send me a thing, so I'm like, I don't care what it is. I want free stuff, send me free stuff, send me free stuff so I can review it, send me free stuff. No. I've owned New Bright stuff for many years since I was a little kid. I bought New Bright stuff for my kids when they were growing up. I've had vehicles myself in the past. So when they contacted me, I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to see what you have. Now, is every vehicle that they would send me that I would be totally impressed with? Probably not. But the vehicles that they have sent me so far, on a toy grade level, I have been impressed with. Now, the new RC Extreme X10, which you guys have watched my videos, that's bridging. It's still toy grade, but it's bridging the hobby grade. Impressive little truck. But I'm not here to talk about New Bright either, about what they're sending me or how good their products are. My point is that everything now is made in China, except maybe Tamiya. Excuse me. Tamiya was always made in Japan when I was a kid. Now, could they have switched? Absolutely they could have switched. Are they in China now? I really don't know that. I've heard talk either way. Some's made in China, some's made in Japan. But Tamiya's always made a quality product. I love Tamiya vehicles. They are probably my favorite. Why are they my favorite? Oh, Rich, you like Tamiya vehicles? Are your favorite? They have cheap plastic parts and the little shocks that break and this and that. You need to buy this car. This car can, do 65 miles an hour and won't break and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, is Tamiya the most strongest vehicle in the world? No. Are they the fastest in the world? No. Do they have the most, the highest level of technology out there today? No. Do they have character? Yes. Do they look awesome? Yes. Are they fun? Yes. Are they great to build? Yes. Do they go together well? Yes. Are they affordable? Yes. And the number one thing out of this whole thing with Tamiya vehicles, why do I like Tamiya vehicles so much? You want to know why I like Tamiya vehicles so much? Because I grew up with Tamiya vehicles. When I got into the hobby, the first hobby grade vehicle I had was a Tamiya Hornet, which I still have. That's why they're so special to me, because it dates back to my childhood. It's what got me into the hobby. I remember the feel the first time when I put that kit together, the first time I ran it. It was like nothing ever to that point in my life, that I was able to get this box of 1,000,000 pieces and screws and assemble it myself and then start it up, and it worked like a real car with moving parts and suspension and motor and gears. It was awesome, and that's deep down within inside me. That's why I love Tamiya vehicles. Do I love my other vehicles? Yes. But does it carry the same spark or feeling like the Tamiya vehicles give me? No. Other people are like, dude, Tamiya suck. And that's their opinion. Everybody has their opinion. So China has nothing to do with it now, because everything we buy almost is China. And it's not our fault. It's what has happened over the years. Two businesses. Now getting back to 2KRC Backroads, I understand where he's coming from, because he talks to this effect. How undercutting businesses undercut, and then sending overseas they have cheaper labor, buying cheaper plastic from here, buying cheaper rubber from here. It's the same with business. It's the same with everything. It's the same with union and non-union. I'm a union construction guy. Non-union comes in, undercuts the union, save a little money. Then non-union comes in and undercuts that non-union. Then more non-union comes in and pretty soon you're down at the bottom of the hill. Well, it's the same thing with the RCs. Now I want to talk a little bit about something. Everybody talks about cost. It's important to save money and not spend a ton of money. People have budgets. I have a budget. Is my budget the same as everybody else? No. Is maybe one guy buys a part for $20. It takes him 3 months to save that $20. Maybe one guy could buy a $20 part every day. Maybe one guy could buy a $20 part every week. Everybody has priorities and budgets on what they can afford. And that has a lot to do with this as well. Not everybody can afford a hobby grade vehicle. So maybe you go with a new Bright, you know, at Walmart, Toys R Us, Target. Maybe you buy a new Bright vehicle. Maybe you want to jump to that hobby grade, but you can't afford that much. So you're thinking, well, I'll buy one of these Phylon WL toy with HP 289860 2850 model, whatever. Maybe you buy that because you can afford that. Now here's where the problem comes in. We're going to talk about toy grade right now first. Toy grade is, are they made in China? Yes. Are they highest quality? No. Are they throwaways? Yes. And what I mean by throwaways is generally when you buy a toy grade vehicle, you're paying a small amount of money up front. You drive the vehicle. It needs to hold up to a certain point to be a good quality toy grade vehicle. But eventually, it will break, the motor will burn out, something will happen. And then because your initial investment was not that much money, you take it and you throw it in the garbage can and you go buy another one. That's the concept of a toy grade RC. Or a child is growing and he goes to this one, and then when he gets bored with that, he graduates to this one, and when he gets to the top of the toys grade chain, and then if he still loves RC, or she, they will graduate into a hobby grade vehicle. That's what a toy grade vehicle is. Hobby grade vehicle, and it's a very fine line now between low grade hobby and high grade toy. It's very, 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 very close. Toy grade has the big name stores backing it. New Bright has Target, Walmart, Toys R Us. These are huge, huge companies in the United States. And what does that do for the consumer? I'll tell you exactly what it does for the consumer. If I buy a New Bright truck and I take it home and it's broke, I don't have to ship it to China, to some unknown person that I don't know. Is there even a person there? Is it a recording? Where's my money going? Am I ever going to see this vehicle again? No. I take it back to Walmart, Toys R Us, wherever I bought it, and I show them the receipt and I say, I have a problem with this vehicle. Same goes for Air Hogs, same thing. I have numerous Air Hogs vehicles. I've had issues with them. You bring it back to the store. You say, I have a problem with this vehicle. It doesn't work. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to exchange it for your money back, or you want to get another one? I'd like to get another one. Okay, head over to the shelf, grab the unit, pick up what you want, come back. Walk out of the store with a brand new one. That's the bonus of toy grade. Now, if you want to take it one step further, and you want to contact New Bright, you can contact New Bright. I talk to them all the time. You can contact them. You can get a live person on the phone. Air Hogs as well. I've talked to representatives. You call there, someone picks up on the phone, they answer your questions, they take care of your concerns. Air Hogs and New Bright are not in business to screw people over and not build a quality toy grade product. They would not be in business as long as they are if they did that. They're in all the big name stores, and people spend millions of dollars on their stuff every year. Now, what is the difference between hobby grade and toy grade? And I'm going to lump the China knockoffs in there because they are hobby grade, but they're China knockoffs. Are hobby grades made in China now? Yes. Are the Chinese knockoffs made? And I'm going to use WL Toys for an example. Okay, WL Toys vehicle. Have I ever owned a WL Toys? No. Do I know anything about them? No. Do I care to know anything about them? No. But I'm going to use her as an example. So WL Toys vehicle, Traxxas vehicle. Hobby grades are made to be repaired and upgraded. Meaning, if you buy a hobby grade vehicle, and 99% of them, and the reason that I say this, and I want to be clear on this, there's a very fine line because you can buy, and I'm going to show you this real quick, you can buy vehicles like this ECX Outburst motorcycle here, right? This is a throwaway. You can't upgrade it, you can't repair it, you can't change, I mean, you could disassemble it. I've disassembled these type of vehicles before. You can change the battery, they got a built-in battery, but they're made to be throwaways. They're very inexpensive. They're entry-level stuff, but you can get them at a hobby shop. You know, Tower Hobbies carries them, or not Tower Hobbies, Horizon carries them, but they're throwaways. So this is very close to a toy grade. In fact, I would call it a toy grade with a ECX badge on it. That's basically what it is. When you get to real hobby grade, it means that here's an ECX Torment here, or not Torment, Ruckus, 1/18 scale. When you get to a hobby grade, now this is a $100 vehicle ready to run, which is very affordable. You get a lot for your money. I've had this vehicle for many years. But when you get into that level, that means that it's upgradable, meaning that if a suspension part breaks, if a steering part breaks, if the chassis cracks, if a shock breaks, you can call Horizon Hobby, you can order from ECX, you can order from whatever, hobby shop, local hobby shop, go on the parts tree on the wall, I need a new oil-filled shock for the front. Boom, there you go. You buy your parts, they're inexpensive, you know, you put it back on there, you're up and running. So you could potentially keep a vehicle like this forever. You could constantly change parts, put a new motor in it, rebuild the gears, change the shocks. That's a hobby grade. So initially you pay a little bit more on your investment, but you potentially have a vehicle, if you choose to keep it, forever. And that's the difference. Now I'm going to show you a vehicle here. My Tamiya Hornet. Some of you are probably mad at me because I promised a restoration video on this like a year ago, but it never happened. It's going to happen. This is my original Tamiya Hornet from 1986. I bought this, okay? I still have this vehicle. Have I changed parts on it? Yes. Have I modified it? Yes. Have I rebuilt it? Yes. Am I going to rebuild it again? Yes. But it's the same vehicle I had when I was a kid. It's the first vehicle, hobby grade vehicle I ever built. Now, how primitive are the shocks? Yeah, just friction dampers in the front, oil-filled shocks in the back with swing axle, you know. Very, very primitive, all plastic parts. Is it a quality RC? Absolutely. Did I put it through a beating when I was a kid? Absolutely. Did I break parts every once in a while? More so wore them out than actually break them. I don't ever remember like hitting something or having this car just like fall apart and explode. I wore out gearboxes, I broken shocks, you know, little things, but fantastic vehicles. I love Tamiya vehicles, but that's my preference. Hobby grade vehicle. Now, the Chinese knockoffs. One thing they do is they keep the big names on their feet. If they know that there's an abundance of these cars, this is the positive side of it, I guess, that they need to keep on their game with the hobby grades, because people, if the Chinese knockoffs start really upping their game and making like real quality product with excellent part support and so on, then the big names got to really watch out. They really got to watch out. It's not that way at this point. It's not that way. I've ordered from Hobby King one time, and it was out of curiosity, and I'm going to find it. Here it is. It was out of curiosity because it looked like such a cool radio, and I saw a lot of people were using it, and it had a built-in LiPo battery and the controller, so you didn't have to use double A's in that, and I thought, I'm going to order from this Hobby King. So I ordered this radio. It's the HK GT2B. Also branded as Fly Sky. Fly Sky, I guess, is the brand, and then Hobby King puts their name on it. It shows up. It's got adjustable grips. It's got the built-in LiPo. Feels really nice in the hand. The spring action on the throttle is good. The wheel spring is nice. It's got a rubber grip on there, 2.4 gigahertz. It's got the little flip-up lid there with all the adjustments, and it feels quality. It feels no different than a lot of my other radios. So at first I'm like, this is sweet. So I order it, I get it in like a week, right? Nice action. I'm like, I'm pretty excited about this. You know, maybe this Hobby King ain't all that bad. I buy the radio, I put it in the car, I had it on my lunchbox. I put it on my lunchbox, I get like 3 runs out of it, and it craps out, the receiver craps out. So now where does that put me? Does it look cool? Does it work? Oh, it worked great as long as it worked. So where does that put me? Oh, Hobby King, China manufacturer. Do they have a store here? No. Are they like Walmart or Target where I can walk in? No. Does my local hobby shop support them? No. So what am I stuck doing? Let's see. Nobody picks up the phone. Cannot get a live person on the phone. So they route you to back to their website, whatever. So what ends up happening? I start going through the motions, and I get so aggravated that I say, you know what? Screw this company. I'm not buying another thing from them again, and I got aggravated. So now, for about 3 years, this radio has been sitting here without a receiver. Can I get a receiver? Oh, yeah. I can go on Amazon and eBay and order them from Amazon or eBay. But if I get that receiver and it's broke, now what happens? Now I'm playing the mail game, sending back. You know, it's a hassle. And for the money difference, in fact, there's radios now that you can buy at your hobby shop that are the same price. So the receiver I can't get. I could get, but it ain't worth the hassle. So I just say hell with it. I leave it sitting there. The next thing is, any problem you have with a name brand hobby grade vehicle like ECX, Andromeda, HPI, if you have a local hobby shop, they're going to supply parts. If they don't, I've had vehicles that I bought from Verizon Hobby and had issues with. I call them up. I tell them, this part is bad, this is wrong. What do? No problem. Well, you got your receipt? Yep. Take a picture of it, email it to me. Show me the damage, what it was. It was this. Okay, boom. 2 days later, you got a new part in the mail. You fix your vehicle, you're up and running again. Now, I also hear complaints about the prices of hobby grade vehicles now. Hobby grade vehicles have a wide range. You could spend $1,500, $2,000 on a 1/5 scale HPI gas powered vehicle, or you could spend $50 for $49.99 for a team associated MT28. This falls into a throwaway category unless you're mechanical, because if the battery that's built in goes out or the motor goes out, they figure for 49 bucks you're going to get your life out of it and you toss it in the garbage. Now guys like myself or other people out there that are mechanical that work on their stuff can go inside here and dismantle it and change the battery and change the motor. They got the little cordless motors, and you can be up and running again. Are these vehicles fun? Absolutely. $49.99, outstanding value, okay? So you have this level of vehicle. Then you could go up to like this one here. This one here is like $289, so that's getting up there. The HPI Crawler King. Axial SCX 10, $300. Tamiya vehicles. Now those are kits, so you buy them separately. But there's a wide range of RCs. My Nitro Rustler, that was like $400. Generally, my most expensive vehicle is probably around the $400 range. There's a lot of people that are buying Lipo 6S powered vehicles, $500, $600, you know, all the way up. X-Max, big bucks. I myself am comfortable in the $200 to $400 range, I would say. And when you buy Tamiya vehicles, you have to buy everything separately because they're not ready to run. Most of the vehicles you'll see now are ready to run, but there is a few companies that still make kits. Kyosho makes kits. That's a brand from the past. Team Associated used to make kits. I don't believe they do now. They still might. They still might have some of their like road racing kits and that. I'm not sure, but I have not seen them in a while. Tamiya still makes kits. ECX started a line of kits. So there's a little bit of this kit thing coming back and forth. And what I want to touch on a little bit is prices of RCs now. A lot of people complain that they're too expensive, and we need these Chinese knockoffs because the RC companies like Traxxas are jabbing us. Is Traxxas on the higher end of the scale? Yes. Do they make a quality vehicle? Yes. Are they innovative? Probably the most innovative RC company that's out there as far as vehicles. Do they pour a lot into their line of products? Yes. Are they huge? Yes. They sell tons of vehicles every year. Are their vehicles great? Yes. I have Traxxas vehicles that I've run, you know, to the edge of the earth and back, and I broke things on them, but they hold up extremely well. They're quality units. Anybody that's new to the hobby, that's just getting into the hobby and has a little bit of money to spend, I always steer them towards Traxxas. And why? One, because they're a good product. Two, their customer service is second to none. The presentation, when you buy a nitro vehicle from them, they have a full-on color manual. They give you a DVD to watch for proper motor break-in. There's phone numbers in there. You call them anytime, boom, you get a person on the phone. I got a problem with this, I got a problem with that. No problem, they take care of you. That's worth a lot of money. That's worth a lot of money. Now, if you're an experienced RC guy that dabbles, could I buy one of these Felons or WL toy cars or whatever and work on it? Absolutely. If it breaks, could I fix it? Absolutely. Can I take parts from something else? Could I build something and modify it? Absolutely. But to the new person getting into the hobby, and that's what 2RC Productions channel was founded around, the beginner, because I thought it'd be cool to, you know, add a little something to help people out if they needed information, and I'm always willing to help. Are those vehicles good for the new person in the hobby? Absolutely not. They're going to break. You can't get parts. It's going to discourage the person. You're spending an amount of money. It may not be as much as a Traxxas vehicle, but by the time it's all said and done, you're going to end up in a Traxxas vehicle or something like it anyway. So why waste that money on that when you could go right to the store and buy a quality vehicle to start? So I recommend you start with a toy grade, graduate through the toy grades. If you find that you're still into RC and you want to go to the next level, I would recommend buying a Traxxas. Work on the Traxxas, repair the Traxxas, disassemble it, maintenance it, drive it, get experience. Then you can go into other brands like ECX and HPI and these other brands. Maybe pick up a Tamiya kit. Test your skills at building a kit from scratch. There's nothing like building your own kit. You know, you buy a car ready to run, you take it out of the box, you drive it, yeah, it's cool. But you didn't put anything in to get to that point other than the money. You plunked the money down. Or maybe you're a kid, you didn't put the money down. Maybe your dad put the money down. So now you don't understand the value of $1, what it took to earn to buy the piece, and you didn't build it yourself. So you pull it out of the box, you smash it into the wall, it breaks, it sits on the shelf, and you never touch it again. If you're a real RC person or a mechanical person that likes to tinker, you're going to buy that vehicle. You're going to want to see what makes it tick. You're going to disassemble parts. You're going to fix it when it breaks. You're going to upgrade parts. That's what the hobby is about. It's not about buying a car, running around the block 3 times, smashing a wall, throwing it in the side, this thing's junk, and letting it sit there. It's about getting it into all aspects of the hobby, doing the repairs, doing the modifications. You know, that's what hobby grade is about. If you don't have that in you and you don't want to take it to that level, just stick with the toy grades. There's plenty of toy grades now that are more than fun to hold your interest, where you don't have to be doing repairs and stuff. Because a lot of the new vehicles, especially brushless, are extremely fast, extremely technical, and it takes some know-how to work on these and repair them. I'm not saying you can't do it. I urge everybody to do it. I urge people to try it. But with anything, with any kind of hobby or enjoyment, even real cars, pains come. You get stressful moments, you get aggravation, you get uncertainty. That's all part of it. And then when you have these feelings and you fix the vehicle or build the vehicle or make repairs on yourself or upgrades, you have that sense of accomplishment and pride that you did the job yourself. There's nothing better than that. Whether it's working on a car, working on something in your house, fixing an RC, when you can do something yourself, teach yourself something, learn something from someone else, put it in, take your hands and make something happen. There's nothing better than that. And I urge everybody to try it. But how do we limit that stress? How do we limit that stress that you're going to have? when you're working on something mechanical. My view, don't buy the Chinese knockoffs unless that's all that you can afford. If you honestly severely want into the hobby and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get into the hobby and make repairs, fabricate your own parts if you need to, by all means, if that's all you can afford, buy the Chinese knockoff. But if you can afford something better, or maybe it takes an extra 2 or 3 weeks of saving or a month to get something better, do that. That is our problem right now. And I want to get to the next and the last phase of this video. We are a society now of gotta have. I want it now, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm getting better in my older age because it's starting to all sink in and I'm realizing, I'm 45 now. But I fell into it when I was younger. When I was growing up in the 80s, my dad was a union sheet metal guy. And I don't know what exactly, next time I talk to him, I got to ask him, I don't know what exactly his scale was at the time, how much money he made a year, but I'm telling you, it was not much. He was a union guy making good money back then, but it wasn't that much. So we talk about RC prices. Right now, like I said, you could buy, let's use a 110 vehicle for, okay, let's talk about the Wheelie King for a minute. Here's a Wheelie King, which is a monster truck, which back in the 80s, monster trucks were very popular. This is a 4-wheel drive unit. It's ready to run, comes with everything except a decent charger. The chargers that come in these are pretty much, in my opinion, are throwaways. You're better off getting a good quick charger. So this is a $219 vehicle, plus shipping. We'll call it $230, and then buy a charger another $20, so you're $50 tax. Say you're at $265 for a extremely durable, quick, bulletproof, HPI, hobby grade product. $265, let's say. Okay? $265. Now look at the average income now. People are making big bucks. Middle class families are earning away from $50 to $100, $100 plus $1,000, $40,000. I mean, people are pulling down some money now. Economy's good right now. People are working. You got to understand. I want everybody to realize this now. Let's put it in perspective. When I was a kid, my thrill on Friday nights was my dad saying, "Hey, Richie, you want to take a ride up to the hobby shop, look around?" My dad, I've talked about this before, my dad was into trains, model kits. So I'm looking at trains and model kits, and then all of a sudden, whoa, what are those big boxes on the wall with those extremely cool looking vehicles? Now I'm a dumb kid staring at the wall. And what I'm seeing is the Tamiya boxes all over, and I'm seeing kids in there and they're talking to the guy and they're buying parts and a radio and all that, battery. I don't know what the heck this is. I've never seen this before. So all of a sudden I start realizing what it is, and I'm like, these things are amazing. And then I see a little bit of run footage. Kids in my school start getting them, and that's when the RC wave was taking over. Tamiya started that in the mainstream back then. Traxxas came along a little bit later. You had Kyosho, and you had Team Associated. Team Associated, the RC10 was their buggy. It was the race spec buggy. Like, if you race at the track, that was the unit. Aluminum chassis, aluminum shocks, no reverse. It was a straightforward race vehicle. But it was a kit. Everything was kits back then. There was no ready to run. Traxxas came out. You had Marawai came out, the Big Bear Datsun. They had made a Josh Midlife RC. His first vehicle, I believe, was a Marawai. I don't remember the name of the model, but there was other vehicles out there, but Tamiya was the big one, man. They started out, and I remember vehicles like the Hornet, the Wild Willie, Super Champ, Subaru Brat, Mitsubishi Pajero. There was all these initial line of vehicles that I remember that stand out. The Lunchbox, Midnight Pumpkin. Getting dry, man. A lot of talking. So I stare at pictures of the Hornet for probably a couple years, a year and a half, and I know why my dad was apprehensive about this, and I'm gonna get into it with the pricing. Um, Everything in the '80s was a ton of money outside of the standard stuff. Gas was cheap, food was cheap, taxes were a lot cheaper, houses were a lot cheaper, cars were a lot cheaper, but the recreational stuff, the new and up and coming things were always expensive, big time expensive. I'm talking, I remember by the time we finally bought a VCR, and VCRs were out for a long time before we bought one. My dad finally bought one. It was like $400 for a VCR to play VHS tapes. My dad bought a video camera later on. It was the old, like the big, huge style that like sit on your shoulder. My dad bought a video camera back then. It was a JVC, I remember. He paid over $1,000 for that video camera in the '80s. Now, I don't know what my dad made for a week's pay, but I just have to guess that it couldn't have been more than $500 a week. I can't see it being more than $500 a week as a union guy back then. And when I do talk to him, I'm going to ask him, because and maybe I'm off. Maybe 500 is too much. I don't know. Maybe it can't be any more than that. So relative to your income, color TVs, big money. VCRs, big money. Microwaves. We had black and white 13-inch TV for years. We'd all sit and watch that black and white 13-inch TV. Finally, when I was older, I think it was like 14 or something, my dad bought the color TV. It's like a 25-inch color TV. We never had a microwave. My mom didn't believe in them, the radiation, all this stuff. We never had a microwave. We never had central air. We had window units. There was people around that had central air, that had the new up and coming. They had cable. We never had cable. I had 2579 channel 32. There was people that had cable. There was, and my point here is in all this is, from my perspective, growing up, my dad made good money for the time. He was a union guy, made good dough. But what did he do? Him and my mom were frugal. They saw spending as being wasteful, leaving lights on, flushing the toilet 500 times if you didn't need to, just flushing the toilet. You drop one piece of toilet paper, then you blow your nose, flushing the toilet, leaving lights on in the house, things like that. Running the heat too high. My mom used to be fanatical with the heat. She'd have the heat down to like 58 at night. I remember laying in bed freezing and not thinking nothing of it, thinking, oh, it's wintertime, it's cold. But these were all things running through their mind. My dad never had a new vehicle till he was probably 48 years old or something, 47 years old. He bought a new vehicle for the first time in his life. Always bought used vehicles in the garage, repairing them, fixing them, making them run. Any way they could save money, because they didn't make the money that we make now in relative. So to buy a vehicle back in the day, I remember the Hornet was like $80 for the kit. This is back in 1986. It was like $79, I want to say. So like 80 bucks, 85 bucks. This kit now costs 124. So from 1986 to 2018, this vehicle went from $80 to $124. Now, what have the incomes done? What have the house values done? What has happened with cars? Everything skyrocketed. So now, my dad's income from 1985 has doubled and a half probably at that rate. If he would have, he's retired now, but if he was still working, his income probably double and a half of what he was making back then. And this car went from $80 to $124. I remember the radios. So the car is $80. The batteries were like 30 bucks. They only offered a 1200 milliamp hard case Tamiya battery is all they had at first. Then they started coming out with the off-brand flat packs. They call them racing packs, and they call the Tamiya one a camel pack is what they used to call it. I don't know if I have my other radio here. I'd like to show it to you, but oh yeah, here it is. This was one of my originals. The first radio I had was a Futaba FPT2NL, and it was the basic stick radio. And then they came out with the Attack R, and I still have this radio. This was, I don't know, 86, 80, 87 maybe I bought this, 80, 88. I still have this radio today. This radio works amazing still, looks amazing. Look at the detail on here. Look at the quality, the heavy, no batteries in it now. Metal handle, metal, you know, like aluminum ends on the sticks, and a battery readout. When you flip the thing on, the gauge would show you where your batteries are. I mean, this is a quality piece. These new radios, they weigh about half of what this does. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, Rich, it's the plastic is a special grade 26894 plastic, and the new stuff. I have no idea. I don't know what the difference is. I have no idea. But I know that this is way better built than this. So what has happened is, back then, this radio was like 70 bucks, 70, 80 bucks. Now, the new radios, we have radios now, like the TTX 300, that's like 50 bucks. So now I have a radio that's considered a hobby grade radio, which works good, it's nice, it's quality. That's $20 or so, and then I got the cheapest radio. I remember the Magnum Junior was the entry level pistol grip. It was $100 back then. So you say, let's, for good measure, you got a Hornet at 80, you got a radio at 100, you got a battery that's 30, and then you got to buy your charger. You could buy basic combination chargers now. NiCad, nickel metal hydride chargers for 25 bucks now. Back then, the cheapest charger I could get, it was an MRC, I remember. And they had Aristocraft was another one. I had two of them. And each charger was like 60 or 70 bucks for the charger. So you got $60, $70 charger, and you got a range of stuff now. I was buying the cheaper stuff. The Hornet was second from the bottom. Grasshopper was the cheapest. You went all the way up. That Frog was over 100 something, 150 bucks or something back then, 130. You know, and they had a Hot Shot, which was the top of the line. I mean, these cars were big bucks. You would walk out in 1985 to get your charger, your radio, your car, your accessories, your battery. You would spend $350, $400 back in the 80s to get linked up with an entry-level kit, RC, to buy a vehicle. In relation to the income, it was insane money. It's probably the equal now to spending like $1,200 or $1,500 to get in the RC hobby. So we have to remember that anybody now that's complaining about prices, we have so much competition out there and so many alternative vehicles that are hobby grade to where you don't have to go to these Chinese knockoff brands where there's no support involved whatsoever. So I hope I made some good points here, guys. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. It's not a bash session. You know, I'm not bad rapping anybody that does this or buys these or uses them. It's everybody's own opinion, own decision. We live in a free country. You can do whatever you want to do. My personal view is stick with the toy grade store-boughts. If you graduate from that, get into the entry-level hobby stuff. You'll be much better off in the long run. Like I said, guys I mentioned on there, Tony from CCXRC, great dude. Give his channel a watch. He's got like 11,000 subs. Absolutely amazing video quality. His filming, everything he does is awesome. Midlife RC, good buddy of mine. Check out his stuff. He just got his new shop set up. He's going to be lining up some new builds and stuff. And check his stuff out. Tim from RC Noob, I also mentioned him. Another great guy. Check out his website, Small Scale RC. Check out his videos. Does a great job. 2K RC Backroads. Check him out. Mike's RC Corner. Check him out. These are all guys that I brought into the conversation today. All really good dudes. Can get good, valuable information from them. Check out their stuff. I want to thank all our subs again for supporting us and watching. And it's a long video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you took something from it. I'm not the smartest dude in the world. I'm a construction worker. You know, I'm not a politician. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to college. But I look at things very straight, simple, and what's in front of you. And simple makes sense, and that's the way I like to explain things. I like to describe things. I like to give you stories from my past so you guys understand what's happening. And I don't hear anybody else really talking about this in this detail, so I wanted to make a point to share my thoughts with my YouTube audience. And the last point I want to mention is the dash cam Jeep Trail Cat from New Bright. This was a very interesting giveaway, and we're down to the last day of the third attempt. So one guy won, he didn't contact me. I had 3 more finalists in the last video. The first 2 did not contact me. The second guy has 1 more day. If he does not contact me, Frank Buck, who is a follower of the channel, because he's commented in the past and I know he watches our stuff, is going to be the winner of the dash cam Jeep. And I know he's sitting back quiet right now and just waiting. He's got 1 more day. So I'm not making another video announcement, but Frank, if I do not hear anything by tonight at midnight, you are the winner of the dash cam Jeep. So get a hold of me on Google+, shoot me an email, give me your information. I got this box sitting here for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, waiting for it to come out, and it's amazing that people sign up on the channel. It's funny, they watch the video, giveaway, and this is exactly why I wanted to do this type of giveaway, to weed out the people that weren't 2RC Productions followers and make sure that the vehicle went into the hands of somebody that follows the channel. And I have not seen this done when I did, but this whole process has been like probably a month and a half long, and people enter the giveaway and they're told the rules, but they don't check in on the channel, so they lose. They're winners and they don't get to collect the vehicle just because they're not following the channel and paying attention and contacting me. So if I don't get a response, like I said, by noon tonight, which is today's the 13th, Saturday, Frank Buck will be the winner. Congratulations, Frank. If you do win it, give me your information. I'm saying in the next 12 hours, probably not going to have anybody contact me. So Frank will probably be the winner. So congratulations to him. I know he follows the channel, and I talked to him in the comments, and he's waiting. He knew it was coming, and he's quietly waiting to collect his prize. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I enjoy talking with my YouTube audience and sharing information with you guys. Until next time, Rich here, signing out. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, if you're a new watcher. See you later.